Are we seeing the start of a new era in WordPress when it comes to e-commerce? Because WooCommerce has been dominating for a huge amount of time, but I think its days are now numbered because we've got the launch of FluentCart. Even though it's just been launched, it's packed with so many features you are going to be so surprised. We're talking about the ability to sell physical and downloadable digital products, to add in subscriptions, a better ordering monitoring system. There are so many features in here from the get-go that getting this is a must. But this is not a sponsored video. I can't wait to implement this on my own websites. Now let me cut to the chase, because if you want to get access to all of the features, you're going to have to go and get the premium version. And you might look at the screen and say, why would I want to pay $249? A lot of other e-commerce or WooCommerce solutions out there, when you start to total up all of the add-ons or other premium tools, it's way more than $249. To get subscriptions on WooCommerce, you need to pay $299. Well, let me just make something really clear. This is if you want to have every feature. But did you know that if you get the free version of FluentCart, you're still going to have access to the subscriptions? I mean, that is just mind-blowing. What you were paying $299 for a different solution, now you're getting it completely for free. But like I said, if you really want to get access to everything, you're going to have to consider going for the Pro or Premium version. I'll pop a link in the video description so you can go and download the free version of FluentCart. So please don't be afraid of giving it a go. I've gone and activated the free version just to show you what you can do, and then I'll activate the Pro version. Inside of our WordPress dashboard, in the sidebar, we got a FluentCart menu item. I'm going to go and click Dashboard. Congratulations, let's go. Let's go through this step by step. We have navigation tab at the top, which replicates what we see on the side down here. Now I'm going to follow the onboarding checklist, but I'm not going to add a first product even if it asks me to do that. I want to make sure I get the settings done, because if I was doing this in real life on my website or a client's website, I like to get all of the settings ticked off before I go and add a new product. But let's just do the first thing, which is set up pages. The first thing I'm going to do is select a shop page. Now, this is a dummy website. I've only got one page on it called Home, so I'm just going to put it on my home page. Or if I didn't want to do that, I could hit the plus sign and actually go and create a complete brand new shop page. So let's go and do that instead. And then we're going to do the same for these other pages. Now, you could do it in an existing page, edit with Elementor, or a brand new page, go into your WordPress Classic editor. Make sure you add a shortcode widget and then paste this into it. Or if you want, you haven't got any pages, just go and hit the plus sign and create an account page. We'll do it for the cart page, a receipt page, and the checkout. Did you see how smooth and quick and easy that was? I did it all in the same page. I've gone back over to my dashboard, and now I'm going to do the second part, which is add details to store. And that actually takes me to the second item on the store settings. So we just did the pages setup, which is over there. So in a way, we are now addressing the settings. And like I said, if you are working on any brand new store or a client's website, get these right before you start building your products, because these are the things that are kind of like the machine within the machine. And you're not going to want to start selling or creating things and then realize that you missed a step and now you got to get this all fixed. So let me fill out some details. I'm going to make this live. Fill out your address, go and select your currency, decide on your number format. It is really self-explanatory, this. I'm now going to move on to the product page. I'm not going to change anything here. I'm going to leave this as it is. But one thing I really love is this bit here about enable zoom. Not every image needs zooming. Let's go to the cart and checkout page. This is great. So if you're building out your header template and you want to have the shopping cart in the right-hand side next to your menu or somewhere else, just go and copy and paste that in. Now, if you've got a shop where you need them to be logged in before they can actually buy anything, that feature's not available yet, but it is coming soon. And you're familiar with the setting up of an account, it kind of follows that logically here as well. So do they need to set up an account before they can check out? Or can they just do it almost like a guest checkout? There is a feature for you to add coupons, but if you're never going to have coupons, so there's no need for you to show that field, you can go and hide it. Go and make sure you hit save and then go over to checkout fields. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that I have done code snippets and things to hide certain fields in the checkout. because you don't always need to have the business name, or in this case, the company. And if there's any other fields you don't want to show, just toggle them off or even decide are they actually required or not. Now, if you're doing digital products, you could argue that I don't need this, but if you are going to send an invoice, and a lot of businesses that buy products from other businesses may want to claim back for whatever they've bought. So having the address on there can be important. I know people who've made this mistake. They're selling a digital product and they never collected the address. Well, you need that for the invoice. Let's now go to payment settings. You're going to see a range over here, and some of these are still coming soon. And I will show you the roadmap. I'll pop a link for that in the video description as well. Let's go and enable one. Let's go for PayPal. I'm going to say payment activation. I'm then going to connect with PayPal. And the great thing is that if you are going to be doing subscriptions for your products, that is supported. That took 45 seconds for me to log into my PayPal account, and then it just whirred away and made the connection. I don't recommend you just moving on when you've done that. Make sure you go and set up your webhook, because you want to be informed when the payment has gone through. And all I did was click Setup Webhook, and literally within a second, I got a notification to say that's done. And when I go back to payment settings, I can see it is now active. And before I forget, let me remind you, we're still using the free version of FluentCart. Invoice and packing. So this is where you could have slips that are generated. This is still coming soon, so I can't show you this in action. My recommendation is when this is live, I would just test it out, see what it gives you. And if you feel like you want to mess around with the look and feel of it, jump in and modify it. Let's go to tax and duties. I am going to say that my prices do include the tax, and I'm just going to follow the logic over here with stating that this includes tax. And if you want to enable an EU VAT number, you can do. Now let me go and set up my rates. So I'm going to click Add Country. I'm going to go for United Kingdom, click Add. Now inside of there, it's already got 3 rates. So I'm going to click View, and then I can either go with what it has done for me, or I can go and edit them. Now, I did not add these in manually. They were done automatically. So I'm going to add in another country. And this time I'm going to go for United States. And now I'm told there's 155 rates for United States of America. I click that and it's now going to give me all of these different rates for different states. This has all been bundled together within the free version. I have not imported anything into it. Now think of WooCommerce. Now think of whenever you are doing your tax rates, you are manually having to do it. Of course, a lot of you probably weren't ever bothering to do it at all, maybe. But this will handle it for you now automatically. Now I've gone to email configuration. I'm going to add in a few details for what will the receiver get when they get an email from our store. You get to design your email footer. So if you want to say something very specific with some particular contact details, maybe you want to add in some social sharing icons or some other images, or maybe even some type of upsell, or maybe even like a form for them to subscribe. So they'll get their store details or what they've bought, but maybe you hopefully get them to subscribe to a newsletter. I'm then going to go over to notifications, and I am going to just leave these as they are. But if you ever wanted to, you could go and edit, go and click customize body, and you could modify what they see. The best tip I can give you is leave it as it is, and then when you start to sell products, or when you're testing this out with a $1 product, making sure you receive the money and you're able to send the money and you get the invoice and all of that, then you can assess the emails and what's coming through. And sometimes you may just go with what they give you, or you could tinker with it and bespokeify it for what works for you, your clients, and your business. Now, when it comes to roles and permissions, we are told we have to upgrade. So once we've done that, we will return back to this. The storage settings, you need to make sure the local is set to active if you are going to have any downloadable products. Because when you need to add those assets, so you say, if you buy this product, you will now get this downloadable product. So just make sure that is active. Shipping is the one that always causes a bit of confusion, so let's tackle it. I'm going to create a shipping zone, and I'm going to go for United Kingdom. I will then add a shipping method. You have 3 types to go for: flat rate, free shipping, or local pickup. I'm going to go for flat rate. I've called it flat rate, going to leave it as 0. Decide if it's per order, per item, or percentage. Let's just go for per order, and I'm going to hit save for that. I'm going to add in another one, and I'm going to select free shipping, and again, I'm going to save that. There are 2 methods for for United Kingdom. Then we also have shipping classes, and it might be that maybe there is an additional cost if you want to get it quicker. And the final setting is features and add-on, and there's not much I can say to you about that at the moment. When I go back to dashboard, you can see that my payment methods is set up and I still need to add my first product. But let me just jump into orders. I've got nothing at the moment, but this is where it would tell me if an order's been completed, process pending, on hold, and I could see details. The customers is going to be a summary of your customers at the end of the day. Integrations, forms, community, CRM. So if you have got other products, this is a great place to integrate everything together. Now, if we go over to reports, we would see a summary over here, and it's not just going to be of your sales, it'll be your revenue, your refunds, really well presented. And I know you're going to say, but there's nothing on here. But I've seen the demos, and if you go and look at their website for where they show you screenshots, it's presented in such a simple way. I mean, you compare that to other e-commerce solutions. They are not pretty. The team have spent time sexifying this up. Coupons, well, you know the drill. You go and add on a coupon. Categories, this is where you can create categories for your products. I'm going to create one called courses and another one called packs. If you want to assign them so you have a hierarchy with a parent category and a child category, you can do. This is standard WordPress stuff I'm showing. Let's go over to brands. I'm going to call one of them Web Squadron, and I'll have another one called other. Let's get on with the products. So let's click add product. I'm going to call it formal pack, and I'm actually going to go for a physical product. We will change this to a digital in a moment. I'm going to click add product. It's basically going to be not too dissimilar from what you would do in WooCommerce. The difference is the extra features you get here and how easy it is to complete. I've added in a long description, which is gobbledygook. I've added in a short description. I'm going to say that you can only buy one item per order. I'm going to go and add in an image, and I could add in further images. And at any time I want to swap them, I can just lift them up like this. That's how quick and wonderful this is. Let's scroll down and add in our category. This is going to be a pack. The brand is going to be Web Squadron. The pricing, it's going to be a simple. Now, I am intentionally going to make it variation in a moment, but let me just show you. I'm going to set this at £2. If you want to say start off at 10, you know, and now we've got a discount special price that's been reduced down to 2. You do get a tooltip over here to explain it to you. Now, you do have the option to turn this into a subscription, but for now, let's leave it as simple. This is a really neat feature. I'm going to say that this product cost £1 for me to actually build. That means my profit is only going to be £1 because I'm selling it for 2. So I'll make 50% margin profit. Inventory management, you can't do that unless you got the pro version. Again, everything so far I've been doing in the free version. Is this a downloadable asset? Let's go and add our downloadable product. I'm going to say the formal pack. I'm then going to choose my file. Now, if we had not made the local storage active, you would have got a warning message here to say you must do that. Now, I'm going to leave this set off because we're going to come back to this when we make this a downloadable product. Now, when it came to the long description, I just went and pasted it in and I moved on. I didn't want to focus on it too much, but I now do, because all I did was paste in text. You do have the ability to modify that with bold, italic. You can go and change your headings. You can drop in images. But you can also go and click Builder. And if you do Show Content Editor, now you're building within your standard WordPress Classic editor. So if you wanted to go and add in a particular block, you could add in an FAQ type of accordion if you wanted to now for the product. Now let's go back down to the pricing. There was the option for simple variation. So maybe this item has different sizes. So I'm going to click simple variation. I'm going to go and give my formal pack the formal image. I'm going to click add more because I'm now going to add in a variation. I'm going to call it small, and you get to decide if this is a physical or a digital product. Let's just leave it as physical for now. And I'm going to set my prices to be the same as what I had before. Then you can go and set in your other image as well. And I'm just going to drop in this image and hit save price. So now I get different images for the variations. And at any time you can click it and you can untick, and you may want to swap out and use a completely different image, and that will swap for you. You don't have to go and click the the pencil to edit it. How simple is it to go and add in your simple variations? Let's go over to our formal pack. Let's click the pencil. And I'm now going to change this to be a subscription. I know I'm doing this all within the same product, but I don't want to create 5 or 6 different ones, because I just want to show you how we can really quickly modify things to work for us. So I'm now going to turn this into a digital product, and it is now set to be subscription. I'm going to leave the price as it is, and you can now decide how often you pay: yearly, monthly, daily, weekly, or are you going to have some trial days as well, which isn't a bad thing to do. Now, the enable installment payment is really, really neat. And I'm going to come back to show you that once I've enabled the pro version, and a setup fee as well. A lot of people forget about this. Maybe you're selling them, like maybe you're going to create a document for them like you're an accountant. So you're going to do their tax return. So maybe there's a cost for that. Let's just say it's $500, but you're going to charge them $99 for a setup fee. Well, rather than you now having to sell them different products and hope they actually order the right products, you can now add it on into here. Now that I've made this product be a subscription model and a digital one, I'm now going to go and click downloadable assets, and I'm going to click add. I'm going to go and pick my formal pack, and I'm going to select my file. I'm going to click upload, and once you've added that, hit save. Now the upgrade paths makes so much more sense when you're doing a subscription. So maybe you want to have different levels like bronze, silver, gold. We're going to create an upgraded product that you can basically upgrade to. Now, in the other e-commerce solutions, you would probably create a completely separate product. We can actually do it here as a variation. We're now going to add in the version that you will be upgrading to as well. I'm going to call it full batch. It's a digital product. I'm going to set it as a subscription, and the price now will be 10. And I'm going to add in an image as well, and we're going to hit save. We've got the full batch that you will be upgrading to. So I'm now going to go up to the top on the same product and click upgrade paths. I'm going to add a path, and I'm going to say that you will go from the formal pack to the full batch. I'm going to add another one so that if you do go for the small one, maybe there was like a different, I don't know, version, but you are still allowed to upgrade. Maybe if you did buy the taster, you do get a discount, because let's say now the full batch is 10, but you've already bought the small or the formal pack and you already paid £2. The discount amount is now 8. So if I go back to my product and I now preview this, you can see the formal pack and the full batch. So this is £2 and you get 14 days free, and this one is £10. Or you've got the variation where I did not enable subscription. It's just a one-time fee again of £2. Does that, or does it not, look really cool? I'm just going to click add to cart for this particular item. Now I just want to show you the checkout and the cart pages, because obviously the checkout page. Now one thing I do want to add though is that you don't get any customizable options for the cart or the checkout. If you are adding in an item like you've only added in one, you might go straight to the checkout. If you got multiple items, you'll see the cart and the checkout, and you obviously get the cart sidebar as well. Now, in later versions of FluentCart, you will have the ability to customize that. If I just jump back into WordPress, remember we did actually go and generate and create loads of these pages. If I go over to shop, you should now see the shop. We only have one product at the moment. It's not like a full-blown loop grid that you can customize at the option. And there will be later on integration with other page builders, like Elementor is on the cards for them and others. So that will be coming. But for now, you get this. So you'll have your products and you have some basic filters. I would love to see this grow and be expanded upon. And I have not tested this out with advanced custom fields or anything like that at the moment, but we will be looking at that in a later video. Now I've gone and enabled FluentCart Pro. I'm going to drop in my license key and just show you a couple of the features that were not available until you went for the Pro version. Now, if we go back over to the setting, the roles and permissions was disabled at the time. I can go and click add role. I can find particular users on my website, or maybe it's just you, and I can give them certain roles and permissions. So maybe you've got an accountant that has access to your website and they are able to go and see what's happening in terms of how many orders you're making or what income you're generating. When we now go to the feature and add-ons, some extra stuff has been enabled for us, like product licensing. So someone might buy it, but to protect the product because it's downloadable, they have to enter in a key. You can now enable that. Stock management. We couldn't do that before, but you can now. And you can even bump products. So this is a little bit like an upsell. Go back over to our products. Let's go to the formal pack. We've now got license settings enabled for us. So I'm going to enable this. And I'm going to say that for the full batch, I'm going to set it as 1. I'm going to add in a prefix that will be at the start of my generated license keys, WS_FB, and I'll click update settings. When I go back to my product, I can now click inventory management and I can go and set how many products I've got. So let's say I've got 999. This is a great way to ensure you don't sell more than you actually have. But another neat thing that has been enabled is if we go over to the full batch, I now have the ability to enable installment payments. So at the minute, the price is 10. When I enable it, it's now installment price. So I now may say that you're actually going to pay £2.50 and you're going to do that monthly and you will be doing it over 4 periods. And that means your total price you're paying is 10. You're going to have to play around with this a little bit just to get your head around with what model works best for you. And if I click up setup fee, I'm going to say setup system and I'm just going to pop in £99. And we'll hit update price. We've got the subscription model, which is now just a formal pack. We got the one time, which is small. You don't have to mix and match this up because I've made this very complicated just to show you the features. And we have the installment. I did not set the image. I should have done that. My mistake, but you should have had an image over there. It's telling you £2.50 per month for 4 months plus £99 for one-time setup system. If I go and click buy now, you're going to see that's come over. So £2.50, how you pay, and then the grand total and tax estimate, which is part of that because it's included within it. So it says included. Total price is £101.50. Please do go and have a look at the website. Go and look at examples. Go and look at demos. Go and look at other tutorials. WP Tuts, Paul Charlton, he's done some and he'll be doing some more in due course. Go and have a look. The ease of using FluentCart is really, really impressive. It's not clunky or bloated like WooCommerce or other e-commerce solutions or whatever else is out there. I don't care. FluentCart could well become my new favorite. It's just come out. And for it to give us all of these goodies on its first release into the public is brilliant. And I'm sure that it's going to be improved and there's new features coming out. There's a link to the roadmap in the video description. I can't wait to test this out even more. And for once, creating an e-commerce website could be way more fun and easier than we've ever had it before. I'm Imran from Web Squadron. I hope you like, subscribe, share and follow. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.